Howdy out there. Joe Shimizu here with another quick Sony tech tip. Today's tech tip has to do with our auto white balance software, which is free for download and is used with our LMD, PVM, and BVM line of monitors. This software is specifically designed to make sure that our monitors, your monitors, are looking their best and showing you what's actually going on. One note, this software works in a Windows environment exclusively. So if you have a big Mac infrastructure for IT, you're probably going to need a PC netbook. Getting started is as easy as installing the software just like any other program. Once that's done, you'll need to make sure that your monitor and computer are connected via a crossover LAN cable, and that your computer is also set to a LAN network. The next step is checking what network mode your monitor is in, and the options are peer-to-peer or LAN. What we want to do is go to our remote menu, which is the square or the rectangle with the little arrow in it. When we come in here, we want to make sure that the serial remote is on. Note that on the back of the monitor, there are two Ethernet connections. You want to make sure you're in the serial, not the remote one. And then the last thing we're going to do is check on the connection type. If we are talking to one monitor with one computer, we want peer-to-peer. If we're talking to many monitors, then we want to be in LAN. And remember, write those IP addresses down if you've got a bunch of monitors. And once we've done this, we're good to go. Then I need to tell the program what network to adapt to. So this is the Sony Auto White Balance Adjustment software. So let me show you. This is what it looks like when it first opens up. So the first things you're going to want to do is make sure that you have a LAN connection up. All right, make sure that that's the situation here, and you'll have to put in the IP address to make sure that the monitor and the camera are talking. You can do something like that in your properties menu, and what you'll need to do is just come in, go to your IP settings, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a dedicated IP address. Our general recommendation is 192.168.0.10, and that should make it easy. Now, if you're in a large install environment, this will be different. All right, so once we know we have that worked out, and we've got stuff talking here at the network level, I'm going to get rid of all this, and then I'm going to come back to the software. And then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select my network adapter, and I'm going to select the IP address that I put in manually. And once I hit OK, we'll know they're talking if I get peer-to-peer as an option, because remember, I set that in the monitor. So once I select peer-to-peer, the software will tell me that I am connected to the monitor. So that's great. And I can see here that I've got a PVM A250, which is definitely the monitor I'm using. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is select the probe. I've got the X-Rite i1 Pro, so I'm going to select that. And then what I'm going to need to do is calibrate it. So to calibrate a probe is pretty straightforward. They all come with a calibration plate. You drop this down, you put the probe on it like that, and then all you do is hit calibrate. Very, very, very straightforward. And this is how it's going to work for all the other probes. This guy is going to go through its calibration settings. Once I see that I'm calibrated, I can come over here and I can hang the probe on my monitor, and you'll see that in a second once I get that all set up. All right, get our probe all set here, and then we can start measuring. And now this is the probe giving us feedback about what's going on with the monitor. Again, when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that the monitor is in the same kind of lighting environment you're going to be working in. So don't have the lights completely maxed out in the room if that's not the way you're going to be working. Another important thing here that we're going to want to make sure of is that we set our target white balance. And for this, I'm trying to make sure that this monitor is coming up the way the factory intended. So I'm not going to have any auto offset information here. And then I'm also going to say that I do want my brightness to be in line with my factory adjustments. So remember, I would do a couple other measured data points just to make sure that my probe is working right, but I did set this up before. And then all I'm going to do is hit adjust. And just so you guys know, the programs are going to give you a warning that says that the settings and the adjustments that are going to be made are going to be put in user profile 2. So if we like what happened, when we agree with the adjustment, then we're going to copy manually ourselves from user preset 2 to user preset 1. And this is just so that we don't overwrite important settings that we might have dialed into user preset 1. So now I'm just running the adjustment, and this is going to take a couple minutes, and the monitor and the program and the probe are all going to talk to each other and make sure that everything is reading right and reproducing color and brightness the way it should. All right, and then when it's done, the auto white balance software will tell you adjusting done. Now, there are specialized programs out there dedicated to measuring the telemetry being read by a bunch of different kinds of probes so that displays can be set for a given application, broadcast, cinema, you name it. Our auto white balance software is not trying to replace those programs. Rather, it's just trying to complement them or give you an option if those programs are not available to you. We know our monitors best and want to make sure using them is a pleasant experience. So let's say that you're getting weird numbers on one of those higher end or more expensive calibration programs. At least you have another software and environment to go check data and see what's going on. Also, some of those programs are so robust that they do need additional computer hardware to run them. And if you're out in the field, let's say it's a remote, this might be the lightest piece of equipment you can take around to make sure Video Village is looking the way it should. The auto white balance software is a no-frills piece of software. It just wants to do a few things very well. Adjust your white balance and your luminance, and really that's it. You know, strict digital cinema work has different requirements versus broadcast. The suggested monitor settings for different gamma curves and color gamuts are specified in their documentation, and if you need more info on that, we did 2 videos prior in this series, part 1 and part 2, on gamma and gamut. So this is the auto white balance software by Sony for our PVM, LMD, and BVM line of monitors. I hope this helps make life easier the next time you guys go to calibrate your Sony display. See you guys next time.